And we are back. We actually have our game set up. It looks like the one that won was Yugioh. Oh, game is already starting, so doing a quick start here. Oh boy. I'm gonna try to get other stuff set up.
Well, sorry, they're ready. I thought you would be ready.
I was ready. I was still here, obviously. I didn't poof. Anyway, the first matchup is on Whirlwind. It is a TVZ, so we've had a lot of TVTs today, so it's nice to see a little bit of switch up. Zerg being my least favorite, but nonetheless, they all are, they have their own strengths. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our Red Terran Illusion.
And in the upper right, we do have our root player as the blue Zerg. It's going to be Yugioh.
Now, are we on the losers bracket still?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Round 4 or 3?
Let me check real quick. I was just on it. Round 5, actually.
Round 5. I will... Apparently 4 and 5 overlap. There we go. They do not make children like that. Overlord is obviously headed out. Now, this map, there's a cross-spawn. This is... just guessing from the fact that they are cross-spawned, I'm expecting to see a very macro-heavy map.
Yeah, I could definitely go that way. I mean, all-ins from Zerg are potent anywhere just because of the speed of Lings, especially, so any type of mid-game Ling Bane all-ins definitely very good in this map, too.
Definitely. Do have the supply depot coming down at the ramp. Just kind of a precaution thing. It's something you definitely want to do against Zerg. They don't really have any ranged attacks until, you know, some sort of tech has gone down. It's not like we were talking about earlier with the Protoss, where it's pretty much a free supply kill, so just a basically all-good-run thing to do. Doesn't seem like he, I think he might be going for a CC first since he's not building that barracks.
It does look like it. He's already up to 13, so that's definitely going to be a 14 CC going down. Maybe on the low ground, probably going to be on the high ground, even though it is Whirlwind, and it's going to take a while for the Zerg to go ahead and scout you. It's still just extra precautionary. There's always a chance they're doing some type of blind, you know, 10 or something like that. You want to put it on the high ground.
Definitely, and we do have... our Zerg player Yugioh scouting both directions incorrectly, unfortunately, though I suppose that at least lets him have the comfort of mind that there is a longer distance between him and his opponent, though for him, he might actually want it to be closer just because of the amount of speed that he has.
It's possible, especially if he plans on playing aggressively. Now, I don't remember watching Yugioh. I, of course, remember him from Slayers. If you guys don't, he was a Slayers team. He wasn't too popular, but he did make a very good splash on their last GSTL run. Looking like he was going to take the all-kill just by being very aggressive and seemingly, like, force of will, making supply depots go down and stuff like that. So I don't want to call him an aggressive player just from that, but definitely we could see some aggressive maneuvers.
Definitely. So we still have no scout out. The Zerg player definitely is starting to realize there's nothing here. The second Overlord obviously isn't going to find anything. Or also Illusion scouting the wrong direction as well. It's going to be a long time before either of these players actually know what's going on.
Yeah, but it's not going to impact them whatsoever. As you can see, he's only going up to 100 gas. Seems like he will be either taking that off or continuing with it, depending on what he wants to do. But really, there's nothing bad here. Now, Illusion did see the Overlord coming in, so I think he determined that, yes, it is going to be in the top right position. He's going to go straight for it. No Reaper coming out, probably just going to be going right into Hellions.
Definitely. We have the first Marine coming out, just sticking with the Marine production, immediately getting the orbital command on both, immediately building a factory after that and 7 extra barracks. So, as you were saying, definitely with the Hellions coming out to do some harassment, we do have some Lings already out on the field.
Yeah, just for this, going to use for scouting purposes. They're going to go up there and see the command center being lifted off. They could try and go into the main, but that's a really, really risky maneuver. The reactor will be going down. 2 Marines on the high ground. They could take out the supply depot if they want to, but they aren't. Bunker would be, or should be going down relatively soon.
Yeah, the SCV did get the scout off. It did see the spawning pool jiggling a bit, knowing that Speedlings are on the way. 2 Marines, if they get surrounded, they are dead for sure. They're running back in as best they can. The Zerglings getting into the main base. This is some early trouble. Some SCVs being pulled off to actually try to deal with this right now. They get a good surround on the Zerglings. The Zerglings trying to surround the SCVs. It's a jumble of messes to see who can get the best surround.
Very nicely microed so far by Illusion. 2 workers killed, but I do believe that includes the scouting worker. So 6 Lings and a good scout for Yugioh for, 1 worker and 1 Marine. Not so bad for either player, honestly. Now, Yugioh is following us up with 10 more Lings. I think he wants to try and bust that front once again, but the Hellions will be out by that time, so it's not really going to do too much.
Yeah, definitely. The Hellions will roast them pretty quickly. Now, after this failed attack, I mean, obviously we hope that he'd pull the Lings back before that happens. Going for a quick third would be really useful on the map if they want to try to macro up against this Terran player. The supply depot's going down, trying to wall off this front a little better. Obviously, these Zerglings are ready. All of them getting out there, doing a bit of a spread just before they run in. SCVs are still being produced. Stim now started, so it looks like we're going to go for some bio play before meching up.
Yeah, he is going to go for those Hellbat drops, though. The armory is down and almost finished. It would be great if Yugioh could go in there and see the armory confirmed. Now he does confirm the starport, but now he confirms the armory. He knows it's going to be Hellbat drops. Getting that Roach Warren, probably just a precautionary Roach Warren, going to get like 5 to cover all the bases.
Definitely. If you take a look at the view, he actually barely saw the armory being built. He knows it's not complete, but he literally, on the cusp of the vision that Zergling got, saw it.
Yeah, it was very, very closely done. In fact, Illusion probably could have tried to pull some SCVs to stop it if he really wanted to keep it secret. But the good thing about Hellbat drops is that even if it's well known ahead of time, it can still do damage.
Definitely, and still no Spore Crawlers. Probably knows that there's still a starport needs to be built before any of that happens. We do have a Baneling nest actually coming on the way from Yugioh, so I think he wants to try to bust this down before the Hellbat count gets too high.
Yeah, that's before lair, isn't it? Sorry, I had to close my door. Yeah, so what is a Baneling nest before lair? This could just be, you know, again, precautionary, just in case any type of attack also follows it up, such as the Hellbat Marauder attack that you see a lot nowadays. Also getting some static D inside of his main, which he definitely should be investing into. Yeah,
the Overlord did get the scout off on the starport, so he, Yugioh definitely knows what's starting to come his way. We do have Hellbats already on the way out. So, expecting to see the medevac immediately pick up those 2 Hellbats and boost over to Yugioh's base and try to do some damage. There is a Spore Crawler, though, actually Spine, not Spore, on the way. The Hellbat drop actually already happened. I must have missed this flying over, doing quite a bit of damage, slowing all those workers aside. The workers running, it looks like, towards the third.
Yeah, that's what they're going for. The Spine Crawler finishes, but it dies instantly, and it looks like Yugioh will be losing that Baiting Nest, not just for defense, but for some offense as well. Trying to probably soak up any Widow Mines that were potentially there with those Roaches. There were none, but a lot of Hellbats mean that this attack might not work.
Baneling bust through the entrance door. Roaches marching on in. Only one medevac here to try to heal all these units. SCVs are being pulled. Roaches are being pushed back, though they are trying to take out these Hellbats as they're being pushed back. The drop still continues in the natural of Yugioh getting pulled back with that medevac. The Roaches are on the way back home with a pretty fair exchange.
Yeah, now, you know, Illusion only killed 5 workers, but Yugioh stopped worker production to make that attack. And, you know, with the Hellbats, the amount of Hellbats that Illusion had, that was looking pretty grim from the get-go, even without the 2 additional bunkers. So, I don't know if that was really worth it. He is trying to turn up behind it as well as get some good defense. He does have the 3-base macro, like the larva's going to be there, just needs the minerals right now.
Definitely. At this point, a lot of stuff has been spent in the economy for Illusion. He's focused most of his money there so far. I would love to see an expansion at this point after... Definitely with this push going on, an expansion on the back list would be good, but he's spending a lot of his money trying to get as much stuff as he can out. A CC is being built on the inside of his main. Hellbane's getting a good scout out on the beginning. It's going to run right in here. I see what the defenses look like. We got some Roaches, but as far as that, I don't see much else in the base being produced. Just, it's droning up. I don't think he's expecting this counterattack.
Which is very odd, because this is the attack that I was initially talking about, why I got the Roach Warren and the Baneling Nest, was because this type of attack can happen, and he needs to defend it. Unfortunately, he already used a lot of Banelings trying to attack, and now he's just, you know, out of luck when it comes to the gas count.
Definitely. It looks like he's going to go straight for the mineral line. A ton of kills being racked up on these drones, and turning around and attacking these Roaches. There's not enough Roaches here to deal with. The Banelings, though, coming out of nowhere, completely wiping out a lot of that bio.
That was looking really grim until those surprise Baneling attacks, mostly connected with everything, does lift up what he can. So 2 Hellions and a Marauder. The medevacs do survive as well, which is very important. There's obviously nothing that can hit them except for the Queens. In fact, he kept all of his Queens alive during this engagement, which is usually something you don't see against a lot of Hellbats. Yeah, I think actually I thought the Banelings were just normal larvae morphing into something, so I didn't see them at all, and then suddenly I just see 10 Banelings running towards his bio army. I don't think he expected it at all either. I don't think so either. I think we were both, you know, all of us were kind of tricked right there, but looks like he's not done with the aggression. These 2 Hellions just being troopers right now finally do go down. Scan going down, gonna try and clear up some creep. That would be perfectly fine for him to lift off and, you know, go home after just that, but he wants to push forward.
Definitely. If you look at the resources lost, the Zerg player is lost nearly double of what Illusion's lost at this point, so definitely being cost efficient in his engagements here. We do have more Banelings that just finished morphing up. We have Marine Shields and more Marauders and Hellbats. Doesn't look like he's really focusing on the Marines. The Banelings getting soaked up by most of the Marauders and Hellbats. Not really needed at this point. The Marauders and Hellbats soak up way too many Banelings. It becomes really inefficient to use them.
Yeah, it does. Looks like he wants to drop somewhere. Decides to drop at that third, seeing the link coming forward at the main. He will be finally taking out that queen, but it's going to be cleaned up. So far, very good defense, which was it was looking pretty shaky, but Yugioh has been hanging on.
Yeah, and we have a lot of upgrades coming from Illusion right now. 1-1 for Bio, and then defense for the, I believe, I forgot that they're actually joining us, so air and ground.
Yeah, it's very useful for your Hellbats as well as your Widow Mines and Medevacs. So just, very much so something we've been getting more and more in Heart of the Swarm is that +1 vehicle plating rather than +1 vehicle attack. Now this Viking's finally going to be cleaned up. It's killed a good number of Overlords, 3, so that's nice. It's also cleared up the alleyways on the outer edges of the map for drops, future drops. There's also another Viking. I didn't realize he got 2. So there's one down in the lower right in case he ever wants to go back to killing all those Overlords.
Yeah, those Overlords actually supply blocked him for a while. He had to spend quite a bit of money to get him back. At the same time, he is building a Spire, which is just a little over halfway complete. There is no anti-air here at either base for Illusion, so this could be really detrimental if he's out of position. There's not a lot of anti-air here. A couple of Vikings will get taken out very easily by just 4 or 5 Mutalisks, so this could be a really big issue.
Yeah, I like this choice by Yugioh. He's currently at the 67 drone, so he's been trying to power through. He's going to go up to 73, so it's going to be a nice economy finally. And the Mutalisk, after seeing that attack repeatedly and all the medevacs, he needs at least something anti-air, but also, like you were saying, not a lot of anti-air for Illusion, so the Mutalisk could definitely do some serious damage.
Yeah, it looks like that is now complete. He hasn't queued up any Mutalisks yet. He's focusing on more Zerglings, and he did morph some Banelings, and he's also getting Roaches, so it looks like he might try to go for some sort of frontal assault. There is an infestation pit just now being started, so very interesting getting all these tech choices and not quite using them all yet.
Yeah, very interesting choice for the infestation pit, actually. I'm a little confused by that, but he's also getting a Nucleized Carapace to speed up those Overlords for the Widow Mines. Not that Illusion's getting any, he's going for mostly Hellbat. Baneling speed is not finished, it's only 75% done, so we already lost about 5 for nothing.
Definitely. A lot of the Banelings getting taken out, more being sprouted, though. This is a pretty heavy army. Baneling's not really the best choice for this. The Roaches are holding their own, though. Banelings dancing around in the back, both being pretty equally matched, neither one wanting to take the engagement.
Yeah, but the supply is really, telling here. Yugioh has been constantly on the back foot. He's had, units that aren't that powerful. In fact, their upgrades are only just now finishing. So if he's going to defend here, it might just be, it might be fine for now, but Illusion just has a great economy. He's going to keep coming and coming and coming unless Yugioh gets a really, really great engagement or somehow gets up to Broodlords, which is apparently what he's trying to go for. He's going to be in tough luck here.
Definitely. He knows that there's a base over here, though. If he drops, his Banelings are rushing in fast. I don't know if this is actually a good idea. The Banelings roll in, take out a few units, but a good pickup to get out of there before that. I don't know if he's going to go home or rush back into the base. Looks like there's actually a small task force of Roaches and a couple of Banelings running towards his base, but there are 2 Hellbats. Let's see if they can get through.
Yeah, a bunch of Marines also set up there, and I kind of forgot over the weeks that I had to see Yugioh play, but now seeing him now, I do remember that he still is fond of that Brood Lord style that we saw in Wings of Liberty, and sometimes he can make it work, but it is a lot more difficult than Wings of Liberty. It's no longer just infestors, insta-fungal. It's much more hard to control, and Whirlwind's kind of an interesting map to choose to go Broodlords since it is so open.
Definitely, and we have 2-2 on the way for Illusion, so definitely sticking with his bio choice, getting a Viking out, a couple of Vikings out, so he knows that some sort of anti-air is on the way. 15 more Banelings actually morphing in here. It looks like another assault. We do have a drop at the third in the back. There's just Zerglings back here and a Spine. The Spine is going to get taken out. I don't know if these Marines are going to be able to hold their own against the Zerglings. They're trying their best. The Corruptors are in now, taking out the exit route. These Marines are here to stay whether they like it or not.
Yeah, but they're taking out a lot of drones with it, currently up to 18 drone kills, finally pulling them away. And unfortunately, Yugioh also had to show his Corruptors, and I guarantee you, Illusion's not just like, oh, those are anti-air. I was like, no, he knows that those are going to be for Broodlords.
Definitely, and 26 more Zerglings being morphed in just to try to clean this up. They do end up cleaning up anyways. He's spending so much money just trying to be on the defense. He's not really have time to actually tech up and get what he wants. There's a huge amount of forces moving up for Illusion. I think he really wants to end this now. The armored supply is 109 to 62.
Yeah, that is a very big deficit, and still no Greater Spire. I think he actually has enough for it. Yes, he does. I'm surprised he's not just investing in it now and trying to hold off with just, that small deficit of 100-150. But I guess he does really need the Banelings to keep holding this very large Marine push off. Creep spread is something that Illusions has also been really on top of. The creep spread has not gone far at all.
There's creep spread over here on the planetary for what reasons I can't actually describe. It looks cool, but I don't really know what the point of that is. It's leaving his Overlord in a very a very susceptible spot. They could just get sniped, and he really can't afford to build any more of these overlords. He needs to spend all this money on here. We do have a doom drop coming in. The corruptors grab them. We'll see how many go down. One medevac goes down. However, it looks like they're actually going to get in and drop most of the units off before they go. There is a couple of Vikings picking off overlords on the map. The drop is great, taking out a bunch of the anti-air. I don't think there's enough ground forces here to actually take this.
That has, so far it's been really good for Yugioh. You're right. A lot of banelings were used, however, on those marauders, so he lost most of his baneling force, even lost a few corruptors, but he saved the corruptors. Stoner Greater Spire getting 4 more right now, which I guess he's only going to use it for anti-air to get rid of the medevacs because he doesn't have any Mutalisks or Infestors to do that for him. It's just, they're going to be such dead weight because, what Illusion's going to try and do is probably not try and medevac him. He's going to just try and out-army him on the ground, and that's really what he needs to worry about.
Definitely. Illusion has his forces rather split up. There is actually a Widow Mine here that nobody can see. It's really close to these Zerglings running around. I imagine Widow Mines are almost impossible to actually see on creep. This Overlord is going to get taken out. It's actually going to supply block him. He has to be more careful with these Overlords. He's not really floating enough minerals to have to keep rebuilding this, and a huge force is gathering in the center for Illusion.
Yeah, and corruptors are great for taking care of drops and maybe cleaning up the medevacs after you clean up the bottom, the ground army, but this ground army is just so scary. There are a lot of banelings though, some roaches. The banelings need to get absolutely great, fantastic hits, and they do not. Most of them do go down, and they're still such a large force for Illusion.
Definitely, some drones even getting picked off. The supply deficit is now 50 behind. Illusion's floating a ton of money at this point. Even if this army gets lost, he can quickly rebuild it. He's getting even the drill hooks, and 3-3 is over halfway done. This is looking worse and worse for Yugioh.
Yes, it is. The banelings do get some good, solid connections on those Marines, and he will be able to clean up this force right here, but, what about the next one? He's on 4 bases right now. Planetary Secure even has a 5th command center. He's also got 2 extra starports in case the Broodlords do come out and catch him by surprise. So what can Yugioh really do? Even if he did have enough for Broodlords, they're already countered.
Definitely, and you see 4 more barracks actually going out in between the natural and the 3rd. Just because he has the money, he wants to have that backup to get his army built. Has had 17 Marines queued up earlier, now to 11, getting 3 Vikings, 3 Widow Mines at a time, and 3-3 and the centrifugal, or not the hooks. I don't remember what the upgrade for the Widow Mines are called, but definitely...
Drilling Claws?
Yes, Drilling Claws. I almost called them centrifugal hooks, but I know that's a Zerg upgrade.
Yeah, definitely. Push is coming in here. It's timed up nicely with 3-3 compared to the Ling's 2-2, I believe. So definitely in favor of Illusion, but so is everything else. Nice baneling hits once again. Surprising. I think Illusion is... Well, it doesn't matter. Yugioh's going to GG.
So Yugioh GGing out of the first. Illusion taking the first match on Whirlwind. That was definitely a lot of back and forth. 24-minute match. One of our longer ones today.
Oh my god. Engine just retweeted a picture of us.
I'm doing tech stuff at the moment. Just a sec. Okay, what am I reading here? Who retweeted what?
Engine,